afternoon, and konbanwa, wherever you are in the world. I am the idol to give you the wings to fly. Cyber Angel, Rita Kamishiro, at your service. How's everyone doing today? Hi, hello. Hi, Alexei. Hello, Nara. Hello, Derek. Hello, is it Hattori? Hello, absolutely. Hello, vocal lover. Lovely to see you as well. I've been so cozy all day. I had a half day at Idol side job, and then I was like, I'm just gonna take a silly little nap. I napped for like 2 hours. Nap for like 2 or so hours. I was like, I need to catch up on my sleep debt. So I let myself sleep and be lazy for a little bit. You know, it's the holidays. I can do that. So I did that. I cleaned up a little bit. I still have to finish cleaning because I'm hosting my Friendsgiving this week. So I gotta clean up and get all the food ready and all that stuff. But I'm just excited to hang out. I'm just excited to relax and eat good food. Maybe start a fire. Not like in the kitchen. Like a leisurely fire. It's not gonna be like The Sims and I start a fire. Oh my gosh. Hey Red, hello Isekai Bukensha. Hi, this is Bystander. Hello TND. Hello Trace. Yeah, sometimes those 2-hour naps are needed. And I think in this case it was absolutely needed. We'll get the fire extinguisher, don't worry, I have one. Oh my gosh. Oh, a campfire! I love camping. I haven't gone in a little while. I think the last time I tried to go camping, we got rained out. And we thought it was gonna be fine. Like, we saw that the weather report, like, oh, rain, a little rain can't hurt anybody, you know, we'll just put the tarp up. You know, we brought some puzzles. I brought Xenoblade on my Switch, you know, just, you know, my friend brought a book. And then, like, we went for like a walk. We set up the camp. We like went for a walk, as you do, right? In when you're hiking and stuff. It started to drizzle a little bit, so we're like, okay, let's head back. And by the time we had got back, it was like raining, but we were prepared. We had raincoats, we had umbrellas, and so I was like, oh, you know, it's all good. We came back and like the whole tent had flooded entirely. I was like, oh my! Apparently, I guess there was a leak somewhere. And it totally flooded the whole thing. And thankfully all of like the important stuff like the Switch and like other like books and stuff that was still in the car because we didn't want it to just be out and about in the tent just in case for safety purposes. And so we had to like pack it up and go home early. Which Xenoblade was the first one because it was earlier this year, I believe. No. Yes, it was earlier this year, so it had to have been the first one. Yeah, I don't think I had started the second one at that point. There was definitely Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I know, isn't that crazy? You just logged off of a 13-hour shift. Oh my gosh. I hope you can relax now. Hope you get the chance to relax. Thank you for all your hard work. Camping just like in Xenoblade. Yeah! Have like the little like camp scene hangouts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but honestly, I feel like me and my friends are the kind of people who like make the most out of a tough situation. So it was such a funny time. We were like, oh my gosh. And then we like looked at each other and we just started laughing. And so like in the rain, we had to like, we were like, oh, so ready to take off the raincoat and like slip into some cozy pajamas. No, we were like so soaking wet by the time we were finished like packing up we had to pack up the camp in the rain. Oh, it was so funny. It was such a funny time. Did I have any heart-to-hearts? Yeah, I guess maybe when we were cooking dinner, we were listening to Twice. Because we were both very big fans of Twice. And so we were listening to Twice. I think we made a chili over the campfire. And then we went on our walk. And then it rained. Oh my gosh. Sounds like a Yudu camp kind of trip. Yeah, it was really cozy, really silly. It was fun. It's nice to be able to spend time with friends. And like get away from the hustle and bustle of it all. What is the heart-to-heart with chat right now? That's actually a great segue. So today we're gonna have a little heart-to-heart, our own little Xenoblade heart-to-heart, right? Because we're gonna just have a nice little cozy chatting. I like to do these sorts of chatting streams every once in a while. It's not super structured. I kind of just have a topic on hand, things that I want to talk about, get your perspective on, get your thoughts on. Yeah, so I figured with the holidays starting to ramp up over the next few months, I figured now is a great time to talk about gratitude. And I guess not graduation. Oh my gosh. No, I feel like this happens every year, and I don't know how else to fix it. But gratitude is the topic that I want to talk about, so I want to put it on the title. But I don't like it's causing people anxiety, so it's a tough thing to work with. But yes, today is a gratitude stream, just talking about why it's important to practice gratitude, and how you practice gratitude and what things you're thankful for. The funniest part of your stream right now is people can't read your title properly. It's okay. It's a common... the two words are very close. It's just, I worry sometimes about the impact I have on people. Gosh, I think about that a lot. I think before we jump into... I guess, I don't really have like an outline. I read a couple of articles this week. And there's definitely things I want to talk about. But I don't have an outline, so, we can come up with topics regarding gratitude. But I guess one thing I am very grateful for is that I do have this space to be able to talk about this sort of stuff with you all. And, I'm grateful that you all, the archangels, are very thoughtful and respectful and open-minded and are willing to have these sorts of conversations, because they're not always the easiest conversations to have. I know, gratitude may be something that is difficult for people to practice, especially if you're going through particularly difficult times. Being able to practice gratitude is, honestly, almost an impossible task sometimes, especially when you're going through difficult stuff. And that's something we could talk about today too. But I'm grateful to be able to have this space and this platform, and I will continue to hold that honor near and dear to my heart, and I hope to continue to do right by you all. So thank you all for being here, whether you're just chilling and relaxing and listening in like a podcast. Yeah. Yeah, this video is brought to you by gratitude. Woohoo. Oh my gosh. You had a psych project on gratitude. You had to list 30 things you're grateful for. It was pretty eye-opening to me when I was going through tough stuff that time. Yeah, I think. Well, let me start here. What exactly is gratitude? Before we kind of talk a little bit about like why. And again, this isn't any sort of structured, whatchamacallit, talk. It's a free talk, right? It's sort of it, because whenever you tell someone you should practice gratitude every once in a while, the first thing you think of is like, yeah, I do practice gratitude. I say my please and thank yous all the time. You know what I mean? But I feel like practicing gratitude is more than that. I think practicing gratitude is taking a moment to reframe your mindset. And what that kind of looks like for me is, whenever I get, the phrase I use is lost in the sauce, but I think a more refined way of saying it is, I think sometimes we get in our own head, especially during the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, or maybe not even that, like maybe you get lost in the sauce at work. I think sometimes we get a little too focused on like materialistic things. Again, especially during the holidays, right, with gift giving and especially being on social media. I think sometimes we forget to think about what sorts of, I guess the word I'm looking for is like blessings, or things that you are blessed to have. Just things that sometimes you don't think about to be grateful for. And so that's what I think of. That's what I think of when I think of practicing gratitude. Yeah. So I figured we could talk a little bit about why it's important to practice gratitude. Let me pull up some here. Let me put some links in the articles for you. This is the one that I was looking at. One of the articles I was looking at when I was reading through. But what I wanted to talk about, I should have done sticky notes, like physical sticky notes rather than mental sticky notes. But it says here, gratitude has the ability to strengthen and improve relationships as well as promote new connections. Research shows those who are practicing gratitude are more likely to offer emotional support and assistance, share their possessions with others, and forgive more willingly. It's natural to feel more connected to someone who shows you they appreciate your presence in their life. It's a positive reciprocation that fosters healthy connections. I actually have a fun little story regarding this. For those who don't know, I have two of my friends, my girlfriends, my girls. I do anime night with them every week. Well, not always on Monday. We had to move ours to today, so I do have to keep an eye on the time just in case I buy my one-way ticket to Yap City. But this specific aspect of gratitude that allows you to connect with others, I think this might sound... Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the donation. A small token of gratitude. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for everyone's support. In any way you can show it, right? Whether it's a kind word, a comment, chat message. I appreciate all of your support. But yeah, I have a group chat with my friends, and for anime night and for other things. We have like multiple group chats across different platforms. It's kind of crazy. But the other day I was telling them, I was just like, I'm just grateful. Like nothing happened. I think we were just talking and messaging each other and having like a laugh, and I just felt, especially with the holidays coming up, I was like, I'm very grateful for you both. You both are like my pillar of hope and sanity. Actually, I think we were talking about Xenoblade. I was telling them, because I tell them how my streams go. I like to tell them like, oh, this is what happened in stream today. This is what happened in Xenoblade. Because even though they don't watch or play Xenoblade at all, they only know about Xenoblade because of me. We were talking about... I was just telling them what was happening, the heart-to-hearts. And I was like, oh yeah, they're so cute, they're so precious, and they're so sweet, and like... Beef is so funny, the way that she expresses, like... She's the one who's like, whenever we say, love you, she's the one who goes... But that's how she shows her appreciation. But I was telling her about like the heart-to-hearts and how cute they were. And she said like, how do I even describe her reactions? Unhinged? It's like there's like a... Oh, let me pull it up actually. I can show you. And so she was like, I love friendship. And I was like, and that's how we had this conversation. It was very random. Like I didn't, the way that she expresses her love is very unique. The message she said, she goes, I love my friends, and then sends this reaction image. Hold on. Let me show it to you all. Hold on. It's quite the image, that's for sure, so you all know what she's like. Oh my gosh. She's a character, that's for sure. But like in the best way possible. I love her for it. Oh my god. She goes, I love my friends, and sends this. She goes, I love my friends in all caps, and sends this picture. And also this picture. Wait, hold on. I love her so much. She's so funny. She also said this, I love friendship. Oh, it's... I'll tell her about like a heart-to-heart and how cute it was, and then she sends me this. Hold on. She's like ripping my hair out. That is so cute. And I was like, I don't think that's a common response to... She's like, I love... That's so cute! Pulls my hair out. Oh my gosh. that was her chaotic good. Yeah, I think that's how I would describe her. But anyway, back to the conversation ahead. I got a little sidetracked there. That's how the conversation started, about how I was just telling my friends that I appreciate them. And you know, we always have fun and we always hang out, and like I think it's always hidden, not hidden, but like it's always there, lingering, right? Knowing like, oh, these are my friends and we appreciate and love each other. But I feel like taking those times to stop and say it like out loud, like, hey, like, you know, I'm really having a good time, or like, you know, I'm really thankful for you guys, you know, always being there for me, or I'm thankful that, you know, you do this for me, that you are so thoughtful, or you're so kind, or honestly that we just have a good time together. And like, I feel like it's a great way to connect with them, and even it's like a nice little reminder, if that makes sense. The last time you said that to your homie, he said, please don't go away. That's like how Beef is, but deep down she appreciates it. Obviously, sometimes I don't want to like be too overbearing, because like I said, I'm a very like cutie, lovely, blushy, crushy, teehee kind of person, and Beef, she very much is not. As you can tell. So sometimes like for her, this also goes into the conversation of like love languages, right? And how I show my gratitude for my friends. I'm very much like a words of affirmation person, so a lot of my expressing gratitude to my friends is telling them, like, thanks you guys, I had a lot of fun, you know, I'll see you guys next week, I'm really looking forward to it. But the way that Beef, for example, shows her love and appreciation is through like acts of service. And so, you know, maybe she's not the most vocal about what, you know, about how she feels, but she'll show you kindness and like making sure you're fed, you know, like things like that, or being competent, so that she's someone that you can rely on, kind of person. So I don't know, I think there's plenty of ways that you can show your love and gratitude for your friends. Yeah. This other from this article that I said earlier, another one of the benefits that they mentioned about practicing gratitude, or things that you can gain from practicing gratitude, is that it can lessen depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. But actually, this actually kind of goes into another conversation about, I guess, the realism behind preaching gratitude, right? Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, you know. It's because I think when it comes to practices that bolster your mental health and your mindset, it's not always a pretty journey. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. There's another article I read, but it says here, a large study conducted by Virginia Commonwealth University showed that thankfulness predicted a significantly lower risk of major depression, generalized anxiety disorder, phobia, alcohol dependence, drug abuse. It says, in addition, studies show that psychological well-being directly associated with human potential and growth has been linked to gratitude. Those experience low well-being, or the word is eudaimonic. The psychological well-being directly associated with human potential and growth. That's the meaning of that. Those who experience low eudaimonic well-being are over 7 times more likely to be diagnosed with depression later on in life. So essentially, gratitude helps us reach our goals and has the ability to build resilience. Yeah, so I going back to that conversation I had about reframing your mindset. And this is, remember, keep in mind that building resilience, building a strong foundation for your mental health is a holistic thing, right? It's not, gratitude isn't a cure-all, right? You have to think about, it's a very holistic thing. So this is just a piece of the pie. And that's just a realistic thing, right? You can't have that sort of toxic positive mindset where if I'm just grateful about things, everything will be okay. That's not the case. What really it is it's a piece of the puzzle. It's just one tool in your toolbox. But when it comes to reframing your mindset, I guess I'll also start with a little story at the beginning of this one as well. I think for me, sometimes at least in my life, whenever I've felt low, whenever I felt like, I guess whenever I found myself like in a darker sort of way of thinking, like, oh, I feel like I haven't achieved enough, I feel like I should be here, or like I feel like I'm letting people down, or I feel like I'm not living up to people's expectations of me, I feel like practicing gratitude allowed me to not focus so much on too much negativity, if that makes sense. And of course, we'll have a later conversation about balancing realism with gratitude. But for example, you know, I was saying things like, I feel like I should have achieved more by now, right? Like or like I feel like I should be doing more. And practicing gratitude and saying, and looking back on my life and saying things to myself like, you know, I'm grateful for the opportunity to have an education, or I'm grateful for an opportunity to have these experiences, to learn and to grow. And even though I might not be where I want to be right now, I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue learning and growing. I'm trying to think of something specific to maybe specific to VTubing. Like my VTubing career. I think I've definitely had those thoughts too. I think a lot of people, it seems the best people suffer from imposter syndrome. I think a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome. I was actually talking to quite a few of my fellow creator friends, and it's something that it comes and goes. And that's the thing about, you know, your mental health toolbox, right? You know, people build up these toolboxes for resiliency, and they think once they've built it up, I'm done. I'm done. I got all my tools. I got all my tips and tricks. I'm immune to like imposter syndrome. I'm immune to negative thinking. But the reality of it is that it's not really something that goes away forever, right? You know, things like grief or things like imposter syndrome, you know, difficult thoughts. As much as I'd like for them to just go away permanently, it's just I feel like part of being human, right? Is that, you know, these thoughts and feelings, whether rational or irrational, can come and go. And I think being able to build up that toolbox and refresh that toolbox and constantly work on it so that whenever those difficult times do come, you are equipped to handle that. Yeah, I would like to think that a majority of people struggle with it from time to time, imposter syndrome. But one of the tools that I use in my toolbox to combat things like imposter syndrome or anxiety is gratitude. Because again, like, you know, I think of, I was gonna talk about a secret project, but like, for example, I talked a little bit about this before on another stream. I was saying specifically about this project, I thought to myself, I don't think I'm like good enough to be the one working on this project. I am anxious about how, you know, it'll turn out, and the way that I sort of combat. I thought about it, and what I don't want it to turn into is I don't want to talk too much about the secret project, just in general, because we're focusing on gratitude. But it was not a close call. Trust me, I'm very good at keeping my secrets. But I lost my train of thought. That I'm not so good at. I'm not very good at keeping my train of thought on track. But so I was having those feelings of, I feel like maybe I'm not the best person for this project, or I'm anxious that this project isn't going to turn out well. And in those times, you know, I took a step back and thought, I'm grateful that I even had this opportunity to do so. I'm grateful that I get the chance to make these projects. I'm grateful to share my art with other people, and, you know, being able to focus on those things instead of, you know, other things that I can't do anything about. It's like, I'm anxious that this project won't turn out well, right? What if it does turn out well, right? I'm just, you know, one thing I can do in the moment that I have control over is to practice that gratitude. Ludacris says, I think a big issue plaguing people nowadays is irony poisoning. I've never heard that phrase before. I'm gonna search that up. Or people can't have genuine feelings, hiding behind layers of irony or masks. I think gratitude can be the antithesis of this. Oh. Hold on, let me find it. I always use the site:/edu. Penn State University novel viral novels and the irony poisoning of social media engagement. What is... I'm trying to find a... Oh, hold on. This chapter examines Twitter novels during 2 years. I wish I had access to this journal! I'll just read the abstract, it's okay. This chapter examines Twitter novels during 2 years of the coronavirus in order to glean a sense of historical change in culture and the role of fiction. Oh, interesting! Oh! Interesting! Oh! Oh! A phenomenon whereby repeated exposure to ironic discourse gradually numbs readers to irony, resulting paradoxically in acceptance of the very ideas those ironic statements were meant to criticize. Interesting. Huh. I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on how... Because again, this is new to me, so I'd have to do reading on it. But I'd love to hear more, Ludicrous, on your... Oh, here we go. Because gratitude is a genuine feeling. It can be the gateway to start forming genuine relationships again. Thank you for telling me about this. I'm really intrigued by it now. I wonder if there's a video essay I could watch. Let's see here. Oh, and Derek, thank you again for your earlier donation. I didn't get to read all of it. It says, a small token of gratitude for being my first VTuber ever to get me into this wonderful world. Ah, yay! Yes, I'm glad you found the wonderful world of VTubers. And also, it's written here for a birthday celebrant to be the one sharing their blessings. Is it your birthday? Derek, is it your birthday? Can we sing for you? Is that okay? Anyone else there who's celebrating a birthday? Is anyone else celebrating a birthday? You're making stuffing? Oh my gosh, I'm in charge of stuffing for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Yeah. It is your time to... Oh my gosh! Okay, if it's your birthday this month, stand if you're able or do whatever you want, you know, to celebrate. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Oh, Dr. 3M's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Derek and Dr. 3M and any other archangels who have a birthday in November. Happy birthday to you. And Derek and Dr. 3M, thank you so much for spending time with us on your special day or special week. It really does mean a lot to me that you both, you know, I guess, are willing to take time out of your special day, your special week to spend time with us and talk and have a nice, cozy time. So it really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Oh, Derek, thank you for the 5 gifted. And oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry. No! It's like tears of joy, I promise. I think one thing I'm really grateful for is the fact that so many people... I'm gonna cry? It's okay. Crying is not cringe. Feelings are not cringe. Gratitude is not cringe. Fixes my hair. I'm just really grateful to be here and to be one of the many people that have a space online to share their art and share things that they care about. You know, one of my goals is to be a full-time streamer, and I think the fact that I can even have the chance to think about that, you know, the fact that that's even a possibility that could happen in the future to me, I'm really grateful for it. So, thank you very much. And Demon Warrior, thank you for the 5 gifted. Vice is crying is manly. Yeah, crying is womanly and manly and everything in between. You can be whatever you want. Yeah, being open, Bios is being open with your emotions is the manliest thing you could do. Agreed. Agreed. Gosh. Feelings are cringe, but cringe is a feeling. That is true. Yeah, crying is human. Period. Oh my gosh. And thank you so much for the dono. It's his admirer. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. I'm far from perfect. I appreciate that. For that you says you're the perfect woman. I don't know about perfect. For that you have my gratitude. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I wanted to say how grateful I am for you all. Sending all of my platonic love for the community out there. Can I just say, quick note about, we were talking about, when we were watching the Heart to Hearts, we had this conversation. It was like during the Bridget and Pandoria and Dromark talk. I would like to say, normalize, like, the feeling of love in all sorts of, like, ways. Because I think a lot of people, or society in general, puts more or most emphasis on, like, romantic love. But, like, what about love for your fellow humans? Like, what about love for your community? You know what I mean? What about love for your friends? What about love for... You know what I mean? Yeah, love your homies. Yeah. Nothing wrong with loving your homies. Ludicrous says there's a misconception about stoicism that people don't get. You don't have to be the stoic, emotionless, rational man all the time. Only when the situation requires it. Fair, yeah. I think there's definitely moments and times where I choose to, you know, keep my emotions in check, I guess. But it's not that I feel like I'm repressed or anything. You know what I mean? It's just like when the situation calls for it, right? Like I'm not gonna show up to like a professional meeting and start crying, right? You know, there's times and places, right? As long as in the places where you should be able to feel vulnerable, you should, you know, feel comfortable to do so. And I've talked about this before, but people also express emotions in very different ways. I think a lot of times, and maybe I do experience this as well as like as someone who is viewed on the internet, right? As an entertainer, emotions are conveyed in different ways. So when you're sad, you don't have to cry, right? When you're happy, you don't have to laugh. I think a lot of times people see someone and are like, oh, you're not crying, you must not be sad, right? And I don't know, a little bit of a tangent, but because as someone who expresses her emotions on, like, who wears her heart on her sleeve and expresses emotions very strongly, I think something that I had to learn growing up is that, you know, people express their emotions different. As long as they don't feel like they're having to express their emotions in that way because of how people expect them to, right? That's a different story. But there are people who, without any sort of... Because sometimes people feel pressured to express more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, love your fellow humans. Love your homies. Exactly. Gosh. Sorry, if I pause, it's because I'm catching up on the chat. Whenever I, like, start yapping, sometimes I look away from the chat. Yeah. I know it's hard sometimes, but you need to love your fellow humans in the world we share. Agreed. The only way things can be better is if we all think of others as well as ourselves. That's true. I think sometimes and whenever I'm able to, right? Because, you know, sometimes it's difficult to do so. Whenever I am able, I try to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt or try to see things from a different perspective. And because I feel like sometimes, you know, my emotions, I think this can go for anybody really, but, you know, sometimes you can feel a little heated. Maybe your emotions get really big. And sometimes in those moments, it's hard to feel that sympathy or feel that empathy for other people. But I try to remember to do that, if that makes sense. Dillian, thank you so much for joining us backstage as Idol Coach. Crying is an emotional outlet. Some people also punch a punching bag or meditate. Yeah, I agree. Anything bottling up your emotions is rather unhealthy. Yes, there's bottling up your emotions, which is not good. But there's also like knowing when is the appropriate time to let it out. Let it all out, right? Because of course, you know, keeping your emotions repressed, like keeping yourself from being able to feel your emotions, can be very unhealthy. And I thought it was like a really funny. You know Nahida from Genshin? didn't she say something about how like keeping your feelings inside is like when it's like you have to let out your emotions, like you're gonna go to the bathroom or something. And I was like, what is it? What is she even saying? Do you know what I'm talking about though? Anyway, don't be emotionally constipated, I think is what she was saying. No, she says it in Genshin. Go search it up. Anyway, there's a difference between that and also knowing when the appropriate time is to, I guess, express your feelings. Because I think for me, and honestly for anyone on the internet, really, like, you have to remember that, like, when you're about to post something, you have to think about, like, how am I feeling right now? I talked about this in my Express talk for NamiCon. But whenever you post something online, but this is so weird because I remember being like a kid and like having like classes on like digital footprint or like, you know, here's how to use the internet responsibly. And it's like, to me, and again, everyone has a different life experience. So I don't want this to come across as me judging people. Because again, like some people may not be used to using the internet. Because for me, it's like the internet's been with me my whole life. Like I don't remember. Like I'm a what do you call it? Digital native. So it's like being online is something that's very like second nature to me. I know that's kind of scary. Well, not necessarily. Well, I guess not necessarily being online is second nature, but using digital devices, technology is very second nature to me. But I still also had to learn how to use social media responsibly, right? And like, I feel like, think before you post. What do the letters stand for? And again, so back to what I was saying. I'm not trying to come across as judgmental. I apologize if that's what it started to come across as, because I understand that not maybe people have different experiences with learning how to use the internet and use social media, or maybe some people still have yet to learn what that healthy relationship with the internet looks like. But to me personally, when I post something on the internet, I try to think of like, how am I feeling right now? Like, am I too riled up right now to be able to convey the way that I feel in a clear and responsible way? Does that make sense? Like, I always think there's productive ways of conveying your emotions and then unproductive ways of conveying your emotions. And like, let's say there's something like some sort of cause or something that I feel very strongly about, right? It's sorry if this is kind of straight. We're kind of tangenting a little bit. We'll come back to the gratitude conversation in a little bit. But I feel like this is also tangentially related and important. Whenever I think of posting something, maybe something that I feel very strongly about, I try to check. And again, no, not everyone's perfect, right? So, you know, if as long as you're giving it your best shot, I think is fine. Like, as long as you're making an effort to think like, am I coming across as aggressive? Am I coming across as not even like aggressive, right? But like, am I coming across? Am I like demonizing people, or like am I? Is there a sort of perspective that I've failed to consider, right? Like, I don't know. I try to think of how I can convey my ideas the best way possible, because how I think of engaging in conversations productively is I engage in conversations not for the drama, if that makes sense. I engage in conversations because I want to share sort of my perspective in hopes that other people who I would hope in good faith are also seeking to, you know, understand, right? But I don't know. I feel like sometimes it can, I don't know. Like I said, it's not always perfect to be able to convey your emotions perfectly, but I feel like there's a couple of things you can do to sort of check yourself and make sure, like, do I need to walk away for a little bit, cool down, think about how I want to convey myself, and then come back and be able to talk? I think it's about keeping things respectful. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a larger conversation that I'd love to talk about that I do want to bring in like other internet users. I say internet users because I'd love to broaden this conversation out to not just creators, I guess, but I'd love to hear. Actually, I was thinking that I was literal shower thought yesterday. I was thinking about, I don't know if I would call it a research project, but like a survey project. I don't want to stray too much from the topic at hand, but it's a topic I'm very passionate about. But let's put that in the parking lot. Let's wrap that up for now. We can have another conversation about that. Yeah. Ludwig says I've had my worst arguments on the internet because of being emotionally charged regarding a topic. Real. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I don't think. I think there's definitely better and more productive ways we can have conversations a lot more productively, but I don't know how we can go about doing that. But that's a conversation for another time. Let's go back to gratitude, shall we? Oh, thank you for the video essay recommendation. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. I thought we were gonna take a one-way flight to Yap City. Oh my gosh, no, I can't yap too much. Oh my gosh. Authentic joke, Lee said, I'm on the internet, therefore I need to win. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I think my problem is I know what I'm feeling, but it's difficult to find words for everything. I think that's why I love media that makes me think and makes me feel things. That's why I love story-based games. Like, that's why I love like games like Omori or like A Space for the Unbound or Until Then or even like Xenoblade. Like games that really make me feel things because it allows me to think about, like, put myself in situations maybe that aren't exactly what I'm going through, but it guides me through thinking about my emotions. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. Think about it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, like, for example, in Omori, maybe I haven't experienced what they went through, but it's like, I can understand now sort of what sort of feelings I may go through in a similar traumatic experience and how I could go about resolving those feelings, if that makes sense. Yeah. Exactly. You get to experience new situations and really work on your empathy. Exactly. Because that's sympathizing. I think more people should enjoy media that makes them feel things. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Gain new points of view. Exactly. That's why I love a sympathetic villain. I love a sympathetic villain because it's like, and maybe this is a separate conversation we need to have about media literacy, but in general, because I find this phenomenon very interesting. We're tangenting. I'm sorry. We'll come back to the conversation of gratitude because there is a topic I wanted to talk about. But I love a sympathetic villain because, again, it's like this sort of perspective and worldview that I personally would not have come to or would have understood were it not for like a villain arc, right? Like, does that make sense? And that's not to say I'm endorsing or excusing whatever it is a villain is doing, but being able to understand why it is that they do what they do, it sort of allows me to be like, okay, so I can start to do this sort of stepping into somebody else's shoes, understand where they're coming from, and that sort of, I can take that away and bring that sort of experience into real life and think, like, when I come across someone who has a different perspective than me, rather than just immediately going to like, hey, just yelling at them or whatever, or being instantly combative, maybe I can see like, what sort of experiences or perspective do you have that, made you feel like this? Like, is there some sort of way we can come to a compromise? Like, is there or are there ways that it may be in a broader sense that we as a society can prevent this from happening, right? Oh no, I was about to start talking about Amalthus. I was like, all the Amalthus cutscenes I was eating up. I was like, oh my gosh, time to go write a video essay about this. But yeah, I mean, obviously, there are, like, sometimes you'll watch media and it's like, and they'll try to push the whole, like, why can't we just be friends with the villain that tried to destroy the entire Earth? There's that, but then there's also more realistic things where it's like, okay, there's a villain who, or I guess antagonist that we can learn about, and I don't know. IDK. Anyway, back to my original topic. I apologize for tangenting. But this is a free talk, and I'm not giving a presentation or anything, so I don't need to be super organized. Am I trying to fix the villain? No. I feel like I hope that these sorts of chats or conversations that we have don't come across as, because remember, folks, I am not a licensed medical professional. I am just a girl. But I'm just a girl who was, I feel like I was uplifted and empowered by a lot of people who felt comfortable sharing their stories and their experiences with me, and that really helped me on my journey. So, I want to be able to give back because I'm very grateful for all those friends in my life, or honestly, coworkers, classmates. And so I want to be able to give back. I hope these sorts of conversations doesn't come across as like, I can fix you, because I can't. I really cannot. I'm not the answer to all of your problems. But I'm just here to help where I can. And give you like maybe like a starting point for a conversation, or a starting point for something for you to think about, or hopefully, for some folks, maybe offer you something that you haven't, maybe you felt, but you've never really gotten the chance to put into words, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I'm grateful to hear your opinions on these topics. Yeah, of course. I'm grateful that, we're able to have this sort of back and forth. Because I learned a lot from you all. I feel like sometimes I also get in my own sort of like lost in my own perspective, or lost in my own little bubble. So being able to hear from people with different experiences and perspectives, and I try to be as open-minded as possible. Yep. Yeah. I appreciate you talking about topics like this. I know it's hard to lower your guard and be sincere. At least it is for me. Oh, absolutely. It really is. And that's why I try to, I tell people it's important to have conversations, like candid and vulnerable and honest conversations. But it's also important to keep in mind where you have these conversations and who you have these conversations with. Because the unfortunate reality is that there are people out there who may want to take advantage of you being vulnerable, whether it's for their own entertainment or whatever the case may be. As someone who does this as a influencer. I don't know. I like to just think of myself as a content creator, but the reality is that I have a voice and a platform on the internet, and I have to be mindful about the things that I say, because I have an impact on other people, and an impact on, obviously I can't change the world, right? But I do have an impact to some degree, and I try to be very responsible with that. But on the flip side, it's like I'm putting myself out there, and it's and for me, thankfully, I am at a point where I do feel comfortable and safe enough to do so. I'm at a mentally, I feel like I've built up my toolbox, right? And so I can do this sort of things. But for anyone who is willing to engage in these sorts of conversations, maybe online, if you maybe are looking for like groups to talk about this with, or I would say be careful, and be safe. Yeah. Yeah. Doing what you can and earn the world in your own little way. Yeah, and like that's what I like to think about it, because I feel like doing stuff like this, I'm not gonna change the world, right? I'm not gonna change the world overnight. But if you think like that for every little thing, nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing's gonna change. If every person thinks like, oh, I don't have any sort of impact, what it is that you have an impact on a small amount of people, but those people have a small impact on other people, on other people, and other people, and other people. And what's wrong with trying to create some positivity in your own community and in your own spaces? You know what I mean? Cupid, thank you so much for the 50 gifted. I really appreciate that. Exactly. Even if you don't change the whole world, your actions can still mean the world to many people. And I feel like that's why I do a lot of my... That's why I like to create. Again, I'm very grateful to be able to be here and share my art and things that I'm passionate about with lots of people. Because I have that impact on people, and being able to share that positivity, whether through my music or things that I talk about, or not even just positivity, but like I love talking about music. I love sharing that knowledge. I love sharing, things that I know about, or my passion for like video games and things like that. I am grateful to be able to have this platform. And again, I try to do what I can to be a responsible influencer. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Give me a second. I'm gonna scroll up, get caught up on messages. But let me go back to that topic of gratitude that I wanted to talk about. Of gratitude. So there's another article that I read called "The Problem with Preaching Gratitude." So here's the topic that I wanted to talk about regarding toxic positivity and gratitude. Because again, there's nothing wrong with being positive. I think in this day and age, we can all use a healthy dose of positivity, right? But I think a lot of people look at positivity and think like, oh, well, you can't like deny reality, right? I think a lot of people look at positivity and think like, oh, you're just covering everything with smoke and mirrors. But what the case is that it's important to balance being optimistic and being realistic. Gosh. Here, I'll send you the article. I have multiple articles. They're not all just from Nami, but the first two that I happen to have. I have stuff from other medical schools, I promise. Oh my gosh. But let's see. What this article generally, so let me summarize this for you. This article kind of goes over that concept of toxic positivity, that just being grateful for things will fix all of your problems. And I thought this was a really great article because I think a lot of times people can feel that sort of cynicism. And honestly, I can see where they're coming from, right? When especially if you're living with mental illness, if you're living with depression and things like that, it can feel almost, you can develop a sort of cynicism where it's like, oh, or you feel like shame, I guess, if that makes sense, because it's like you acknowledge that I'm getting snippets from this article. You can acknowledge that you have, an amazing life. Perhaps maybe you have what you need. Your basic needs are met. You're grateful for those things. Just being grateful for those things doesn't solve your whatever mental illness you may be living with. And again, it's that shame of being like, why do I still feel sad? Why do I still feel down when I have all of these things to be grateful for? So I think you have to be very careful when you tell someone like, hey, just be grateful for what you have, right? Because that's, again, it's not like being grateful isn't a cure-all, and it says right here, fails to consider the painful and even dangerous reality of depressive episodes or similar experiences. So it's similar to the conversation we were having earlier about bottling things up. Similar to that, by expressing gratitude, we allow ourselves to share this positivity, these positive feelings that we may feel that we are bottling up for whatever reason. But on the flip side, you could also bottle up a lot of your negativity by constantly trying to cover it up with positivity or gratitude. So it's really a balance of optimism and realism. Because again, I think sometimes we fail to consider that every person has a different way of taking care of their mental health. And, no one sort of like tool or tip or trick or method is any better than the other, right? Because every person's different. So some person might be in a certain point in their life where they need to focus more on their personal survival or their self-care, right? Someone may be going through a crisis at the moment, and saying something like, just be grateful, that you have a roof over your head. In a moment of crisis, that can give so much shame and guilt for somebody, if that makes sense. You may feel inadequate, if that makes sense. And then when the reality is that everyone has different needs regarding their mental health. And it's I'm sure it's well intentioned when people are like, oh, you have so much in your life to be grateful for, but it's well intentioned, but it also it can come across as, I don't want to say uneducated, but uninformed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I wanted to bring that up because I feel like sometimes I'll have these sorts of conversations, and this is a recent thing that I've tried to think about more, because I think I've done a gratitude stream or something similar every year, but again, as someone like myself who I would consider, I don't tend to have trouble thinking positively, and that's just something about me. I don't know, like some people do, some people don't, right? That doesn't make me any better or worse than anybody else. One thing I try to think about more is that, not everyone has as easy of an experience with thinking positively. And, saying things like, just be grateful, just for what you have, right? It feels dismissive to what people might be going through. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. You can be anchored to saying that as an example. And again, I would like to say, these sorts of conversations are important, yes, but can be rather difficult. So no shame in if anything is particularly triggering, if anything is like too much, no shame in stepping away. If this is a conversation maybe that you're not comfortable with having at the moment, totally fine. Again, it may stir up difficult feelings for you, and if that's not something that, and again, no shame, that doesn't make you weak or anything. That's taking care of what you need at the moment. It's like if you're hungry, you're gonna go eat, right? It's just taking care of yourself. So no shame. And if you need to join us for a different stream, or if you need to join VOD gang, yeah, for sure. But that great article to read, because I feel like when it comes to gratitude, I think we often focus so much on that aspect of positivity. And remember that gratitude is just a piece of the pie, right? It's a tool that I think a lot of people can benefit from, but if it's not a tool for your toolkit, then it's not a tool for your toolkit. It's your own toolkit. Yeah. Yeah, and like that's actually really, like one thing that I feel like happens a lot with, I guess, negative, right, feelings like anger or sadness. I think we shouldn't feel shame for the things that we feel because we're human, right? Like you can't control how how you feel, like the gut feeling that you get about something, right? But what you can sort of control and feel shame in or have pride in is how you respond to things, right? The more quote unquote negative, right, sort of feelings like sadness or anger, those sorts of feelings can be turned into positive and productive things, right? Maybe you're angry at how someone's treating someone, or you're angry at how the way something is in our society, or as you're angry at something that you see in the world out there. And that anger might turn into, like you said, like curiosity, like you want to learn more, and it drives you to learn more and make a change in the world. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, no shame in feeling your very human feelings, and it's really what you do with those feelings that I think, yeah. And on the flip side, you know, you could have very positive feelings and then do something very negative with them. Not gonna lie, I've recently been dealing with that guilty gratitude of recognizing how blessed my life has been, but also feeling like I should be so much more with what I have. I have also felt similarly. You are definitely not alone there. That's the thing, again, with practicing gratitude, right? And learning how to do that safely and I guess positively. I keep using the word. I'm trying to expand my vocabulary here. Because I feel like it can be, you really have to think about how you're talking to yourself when you're having these sort of gratitude conversations. Because, like, for example, for me, it's like rather than being like, why are you like, you shouldn't even feel upset because, you know, you have food on your table when there are so many people out there who don't. Like, rather than berating yourself, right? Rather than feeling shame, again, for those gut feelings that you're having, right? Because you can't control how you, like, let's say, I don't know, like, let's say you got a gift that you didn't like, and your initial gut feeling is like, oh, well, this isn't something I needed, or this isn't something I really wanted, or like, I don't think I'll ever use it, right? It's, rather than feeling, well, you know, rather than taking that feeling of shame and being like, oh, there's so many other things that there's so many people out there who don't even have a fraction of what I have. I'm such a bad person. Rather than feeling bad about that, you know, you could recognize that and think like, hey, you know what? That's a feeling that I had in the moment. And rather than shaming yourself for having that initial feeling, think like, okay, well, how can I like turn this around? I think, I don't know. You can feel, you know, I guess ashamed about a specific feeling, but I don't think you should feel ashamed that you had it in the first place. Does that make sense? Like, you're human, you know, you'll feel the things that you feel, but like for that example specifically, it's like, okay, well, what can I be thankful for? You know, thankful to the fact that I have people in my life who think of me, you know, right? Who think of me and get me gifts, or I don't know. But I see where you're coming from. Let me see if I can find something about that. I like to, because again, it's like I have a similar feeling, and whenever I feel that way, I find something to like read about. I think that's again, media that helps you to think about your feelings. I mean, that's what things like seeing a professional for. That's like seeing a therapist for. But with you know, with therapist shortages and you know, things like money being an issue, if you're ever waiting to, you know, if you're waiting to, you know, have you know, professional be available, or maybe you don't have the resources available to speak with a professional, there's definitely things that you can do in the meantime. Like reading journals or articles, or there's also like cheaper like group options, or you just got to be mindful of where you're getting your information from. But yeah. Let me get caught up on chat. Yeah, it's like suffering Olympics, right? It's like there's no productivity in that. I don't know. It's like, again, it's that balance. It's recognizing that rather than berating yourself for feeling bad when you do have good things, it's more like trying to be grateful for what you do have, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm rambling, but let me get caught up on chat first. Authentic Inari Fox says, resigning yourself to being satisfied for the bare minimum is as good as having no ambitions. What is life with no ambition but a story that's already finished? Yes, but I feel like there's a difference between being grateful for what you have and, you know, being... I don't know, I feel like there's a difference there. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, for example, like, maybe I'm feeling like I'm not where I should be. And in my head, part of my sort of gratitude practices, you know, I'm just grateful to be able to have the opportunity to study or to do what I do. But in that practice of gratitude, I don't allow that to be like, okay, well, I'm grateful for where I am right now, so I'm just satisfied, if that makes sense. Again, I think it's part of that balance of being grateful for what you have and what you surround yourself with, and having that sort of ambition to strive for more. I think there's definitely a healthy way to balance that. Yeah, exactly. Graciousness can also be a factor of motivation. I'm trying to think of an example. Like, it doesn't have to always be... It doesn't have to be something that keeps you, like Twice said, complacent. It can definitely be something that pushes you forward. Yeah, like, for example, like, I'm really grateful for to have friends that like support and believe in me. In whatever it is that I want to do. And so that pushes me to continue aspiring, right? That pushes me to continue chasing my dreams and pushing for the best for me, because I'm grateful to even have friends that are supportive of me and look at what I do and cheer me on, right? And so I want to be able to continue doing what it is that I love to do, even though it gets tough, even though I get in my own head sometimes, even though I have imposter syndrome sometimes. Knowing that I have friends who believe and support in me, it pushes me to keep going forward. Does that make sense? Yeah, grateful but not settled, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading everyone's messages. Oh yeah, true. Check your insurance. That's the thing, because it's like there's money. It's definitely a big thing, but there's definitely lots of ways that you can. There's a lot of options for like self-help and things like that. So whether it's like you've had a bad experience or, you know, it's difficult for you to be able to be seen by a professional, there's definitely a lot of ways to... You just have to be careful again where you get your information from. Like me, for example, do you... I may or may not be a... You gotta remember, I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just like a... I'm just a human, so you gotta think to yourself. You gotta think critically. Is Rita Kamishiro really the person you want to get your... Again, I'm not a licensed professional. I'm just here to start a conversation if you really want to have a deeper, more educated conversation. I highly recommend reading journals, watching video essays by actual licensed professionals. Again, my role here is to just start a conversation. Please do not put your blind trust in me, oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm just a girl on the internet, please. Oh my gosh. I'd like to think that you go, after reading a sentence like you're a typewriter. That's like my thinking noise. Oh my gosh. That's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Do I take my word? No, do not take what I say at face value. Please have a healthy dose of criticism, of cynicism. Please do not take everything I say at face value. It's Is that a challenge? Oh, please. I do not want to be the... Oh, my gosh. The instructions unclear. If Rita says it, it's absolute, concrete, unshakable, and indelible fact. Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, books are good, too. I have a couple. Let me go grab them. Do you all mind? I have a couple. 1 second. I got my books. Okay, I wish I had more time to read them. I've only finished one of them. But I think reading is a great way to, and again, remember, like, be mindful of your sources, be mindful of who, you know, because like I know I threw out a couple here. Let me throw out my other source, because it's not just Nami. I think it's really important to also have a breadth of reputable sources. I think it's a good idea to get your information from different places. So I apologize that a couple of my sources were all from the same place, but I also like to do the site:/edu. I learned that one in school. There you go. Yeah, do not blindly follow me, please. So I have a lot of like books, because again, a lot of my journey is learning how to help myself. And so I have a lot of books, and some of them are gifts, actually. So the first one I have is these. Actually, a lot of these are gifts from friends. I'm gonna cry. I wonder if any of these have like messages. I think some of them do. This one's called "Now Is the Time" by Patrick Lindsay. It says, yesterday's baggage becomes tomorrow's worries, imprisoning our minds and hearts today. Now is the time, the best time, the only time to change your attitude and take that first step towards freedom from a cage of your own making. Wow. You'll be inspired by the gentle, encouraging words inside this book, reminders that within you lies the power to change your life, for the simpler or for the better, if you just embrace the moment and seize the day. These morsels of insight, each accompanied by a meaningful quote from a noted luminary, contribute not only inspirational guidance, but also specific actions you might take, such as starting a journal, revamping your wardrobe, making your vote count, or volunteering your time. Yeah. Gosh. Reading homework? No, this isn't homework! Oh, please! Now is the time to tame your inbox is the first one. Oh my gosh. This became a reading stream. I can look for a gratitude one. Let me see. I'm looking for a gratitude one. Thank you for the link, Shiny. These are beautiful. Oh, I'd love to actually read these. Here's one I need. Now is the time to get a good night's sleep. Oh. I'm trying to find a gratitude one. Oh, I'm looking. Here we go. I feel like this is a good one. Now is the time to think of others. We're encouraged to think of ourselves, our needs, our desires. The media, advertisers, and gurus all add to this impetus. But real satisfaction comes from elsewhere. Genuine growth and priceless enjoyment come from helping others. Look where you can help. Do it with selfless passion. Enjoy the feeling. That's cute. There's now is the time to learn. I'm trying to find one that's specifically about gratitude. Oh my gosh. Here's one. Now is the time to seek advice. Oh my gosh. It must be from a respected source and balanced against your own knowledge and instincts. See, that's good. See? You can't just blindly listen to somebody. But seeking advice brings many rewards. It honors the giver. It enhances the receiver. It creates perspective. Oh. Cheers to that. Ooh, now is the time to learn from your anger. Now is the time to seize the day. Send out the call and don't delay. Wrongs will be righted if you're united. Let us seize the day. Here's a really good one. I was trying to look for a gratitude one, but I think this one may be very topical. In this day and age. I feel like it's been a very hot topic, just like being in the VTuber space or the content creator space of like just a lot of like negativity going around. And I've watched a couple of videos and like just boots on the ground, went out and gone to Twitter and seeing what other creators are saying about their experiences about negativity in not just the VTuber space, but I think the content creator space in general. And there's been a lot of like negativity. Yeah. So here we go. Now's the time to learn from your anger. It often pays to look back in serenity at your anger. Pent-up emotions can reveal unseen messages, and anger may be driven by deep insight. Consider your motivation. Examine the underlying triggers. Learn the lesson. The lessons, sorry. Oh. The tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. William Blake. Interesting. Yeah, that's just online in general. That's a bigger conversation. I really want to... I want to do another... like, round table discussion. Bring in some other creators and get their thoughts. I'm trying to look for one specifically about gratitude. Hey guys! Now is the time to support an artist! Should I read this one? I'll read this one. Now is the time to support an artist. They bring beauty into our world. They look at things differently. They allow us to see ourselves differently. Is this really true? Do you really think so? They inspire us to be more creative. Yet very few of them make good livings. I mean, you didn't have to hit us hard with the truth right there. They enhance our lives and deserve encouragement. Look for those who move you. Support them where you can. The artist must have something to say, was the quote at the very bottom. Oh my gosh. Thank you! And again, your support in any way that you can show, whether it's a kind word, a like, a share, it really means a lot to me. Support artists and stream break in bed. Oh my goodness. But yeah, but I love having books like these because it allows me to think about stuff that maybe I don't normally have the time to think about. I like don't give myself the space to think about. I'm trying to think. Now's the time to explore online. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Oh, now's the time to chase your dream. These are beautiful. I'm looking through more of them. And now's the time to work in the garden. Oh! This one says now's the time to find your spark. I just thought about until then. I'm gonna cry. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I'm gonna cry. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should go watch my Until Then playthrough. Now is the time to find your spark. I can't even read this without... We all have a spark within us that ignites our creative spirit. Sometimes it's overshadowed by the big obstacles that threaten the light in our lives. But our spark will survive our darkest times, waiting to show the way to a brighter future. If the divine spark were not native to us, how could it move us to rapture, is the quote that they gave. Spark of anger is crazy. As long as you channel that anger productively. Let's see. Oh wow, now's the time to learn from your enemies. Ooh. I like that. Too often we close our minds to our enemies. Far wiser to view them dispassionately. Examine their grievances. Explore their motivations. Balance their bias. Distill the lesson. thank you so much for the super chat. I just gotta say, William Blake wrote my favorite poem, A Poison Tree. Do I know that one? I love poems. I love poetry. I used to do like poetry readings. Wow. Yeah, I don't know this one. Yeah. I don't. Oh, I wish I still kept up with like poetry and stuff. I feel like I don't really follow a lot of poets. Like I just like reading poems. Like I really like Maya Angelou. But I feel like I should like follow more poets. So you know what I mean? Like I don't remember a lot by name, but lots of I appreciate poems. Like I like reading poems and poetry. I think it's a beautiful way to think about things. It's like a very artistic and creative way of thinking about things. Oh, here's one. Now's the time to turn off your phone. That's important. When's the last time your phone was turned off? Oh, Pillows, good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Now's the time to support my Oshi. Thank you. Thanks for the insightful conversation. Of course. Oop. Mercury says, I'm watching you on my phone. Okay. Bye-bye. Just kidding. No, but seriously, though, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, my phone is something that's just always on. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's just a device that's always on. Because, like, I don't turn my phone off. So I let my phone die. I took a nap and I let my phone die. I was like, be free. Be free. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Oh, so silly. Oh, let me see. Hold on. I gotta fix something. Okay, there we go. I somebody mentioned a couple of streams ago that my Streamlabs wasn't working. I was like, I don't know. I thought I had it all set up, but something changed in like how they set up the alert boxes. So I have to set up super chats and Streamlabs separately now, which is kind of weird. Because before I just had to change one thing and it was good to go. But I will look at that later. Not now. We're locked in. We're clocked into Gratitude Town, right? We're clocked in for a shift at Gratitude City. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let me see if I can find one on Gratitude. If not, I'll keep going through my book list. Oh, now's the time to take care. Now's the time to listen to live music. Yeah! Woohoo! Espresso yourself is so cute. Oh my gosh. Don't make a budget. Oh my gosh. Oh. Here we go. Here's ones that's similar. Ah, Daniel, your first super chat. Thank you. Hi, Rita. Longtime follower here since the Mass Effect streams. Oh my gosh. Today is also my... Oh my gosh. Did you hear the happy birthday song we did earlier? Happy birthday, Daniel. Also my birthday. Funny enough, thank you for the streams and wish you the best. Yay! Happy birthday, Daniel. Here's what I found. I think is very topical for today, our gratitude stream. Now is the time to change your attitude. Each day may not be a good one, but there's something good in every day. The difference is usually our attitude. Look for the positive. You'll find then the positives will shine through. They will act as signposts to navigate through the dark times. And remember, balance, right? Optimism and realism. If that tidbit of poetry was not for you, then it's not for you, right? Maybe it's for someone else, and that's okay. If it's not for you, that's okay, right? Take what you need, and everyone needs something differently, right? Exactly. So there you go. Let's see what else. Now's the time to find balance. There you go. Oh, these are so cute. I usually just like whenever I feel down, I just skim through these, but like looking at them more closely is nice. Oh. These are so nice. I want to share these more. Now is the time to give back. Consider the good things in your life. Family, friends, loved ones, achievements. We have so much for which we should be grateful. Whenever you can, return the favor. Give something back. Support your community or school or those who helped along the way. They'll be validated and encouraged. You'll be gratified. We make a living by what we got. Well, this is the quote at the bottom. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. I love that. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. Snaps. Yeah. But that's really nice, and you know, that's why I do stuff like this stream, is to give back. Because I have lots of things that I am grateful for, and I want to be able to. This is my way of saying thank you for all of the wonderful things in my life. Here's one. Now's the time to be passionate about your work. I don't know. I feel like I've been really motivated this past year with my work, and like I feel like I've really been able to like hone in on things that I'm really passionate about and really showcase that passion. And again, like also being able to talk about stuff like this too, because I'm also very passionate about mental health. Now's the time to be passionate about your work. Try to find work that excites your passions, that inspires you to push your boundaries. Strive to be the best you can at it. Allow yourself to enjoy it. That's so important. And spread enjoyment at work. Give it your respect. Others will respect you in return. I do take my work seriously, and the way to do that is not take yourself too seriously. So real. That's a quote by Alan Rickman. So, yeah, I've just been grateful that, you know, I feel like I've been able to create my channel and my content around things that I'm genuinely passionate about. So I'm grateful to be in that position. Yeah, Alan Rickman. Let's see. Unshackle your mind. Write a personal note. Aww. Here's one. Again, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Everyone's in a different situation. I know especially around the holidays, family talk can be particularly triggering, so I think this one is nice. But again, if your situation is different, if this one's particularly triggering, I apologize. You might want to sit out for this one. But this one is, now is the time to write your parents a thank you letter. And again, everyone has a different experience. Everyone has a different situation. So again, if this is for you, I hope you can take this as a nice little nugget of wisdom. If not for you, then hopefully you're able to resonate with some of the other ones that we've shared today. Now is the time to write your parents a thank you letter. Think about the sacrifices they endured for you. Consider the countless small acts of love they gave you. Through all the frustrations and frictions, an unbreakable bond links you. Don't leave it too late to thank them. Do it in your own hand and straight from your heart. Yeah. This is from Mark Twain. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Wow. This one's not, maybe not as gratitude related, but this one's relatable to me. Now is the time to find your own song. Write your own lyrics. Find your own melody. Create your own soundtrack. The soundtrack of my life is just Hero Pon Ricky playing whenever I feel like I'm having a filler episode type of day. Make your own movie. Live your own life. Yeah. Which one was Shiny Link? That's funny. When music suitable to any scene, action, event, or environment is played, it seems to disclose to us its most secret meaning. You just got done with work on your composition, Shuri. I'm sorry. I hope it went well. Oh my gosh. All the preparation. All the work. Oh. I'm gonna share some of these online. So I'm trying to see if there's any more that are specifically... Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna bookmark one of those and share it online later. Okay. I'm tangenting a lot. I think, but that's essentially all I did cover all the gratitude topics that I wanted to share, and I saw folks sharing the ways that they are grateful. Let me finish going through this book conversation, and then we can wrap up by I can share a few more of things that I'm grateful for, and ways that we can practice gratitude all the time, not just during the holidays. Okay. I like to read about different people's stories. So sometimes I'll read like celebrity, like, what do you call them? Whatchamacallit? Like their personal stories. Like their life stories. I don't know what you call those. I have a couple of those. I need to read them though. But like stories, an autobiography, like stories about their childhood and like things that they experienced growing up. I feel like there's just a lot I can learn about from other people who live totally different lives than mine. So I try to pick up, ones that I find particularly interesting. And again, maybe, particularly interesting in that they're very different from how I've lived my life, or, very different experiences that I've had. Because how else am I gonna be able to sympathize with other people if I don't step into their shoes? This one I got as a gift from a mentor / friend of mine. If you are able to find a mentor, and even better, a mentor / friend, it's life changing. I am grateful. Here we go. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to have mentor / friends over my life. I say mentor / friends because they're like similar in age to me. They have been women who are a little bit older than me, who are both going through similar things as me, but also have experienced things ahead of me already and can give wisdom. If you're able to find a mentor in whatever it is, maybe in life or in work or in your craft, it's such a humbling and wonderful experience. You learn so much, and I don't think it's ever too late to find like a mentor or be a mentor. I've gotten the honor to mentor other people, and it's been incredibly fulfilling for me as well. So this one I can't say out loud, but it was a gift from a mentor of mine. It says, "You are a BADASS." How to stop doubting. So I got this one because one thing I confided in with my mentor, and again, she's not like a licensed professional or anything, just someone that I was able to confide in with like my imposter syndrome or a lot of the feelings of negativity that I had. And like I said, I'm not kidding when I tell you my life was turned around because of the kindness of like my mentors and my friends and people that I was able to surround myself with. So I confided in her a lot of my sort of, I want to cry. I looked at the message. I confided in her a lot of the negativity that I had been feeling. And she gave this to me as a gift after we had our little conversation. So really, it's like, it's and like, I don't know. Anyway. And TND, thank you so much for the gift. So this is called You Are a BA. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. I'll read you the message she wrote me. Because maybe this message you'll need to hear, too. It says, "To Rita, I want to use this book to simply remind you that you are amazing. You are one of the most hardworking people I have ever met. You are such a strong woman. Don't let anything to stop you. You truly deserve the world. 'Cause ... and then it has the title of the book. You are a BADASS. From my mentor. But yeah, this one I think really helped me through a lot of my. I'm gonna reread this again. You know what? It's been a while since I've read this. Maybe I should reread this and talk about it. Maybe have like a little book club with some creators. It's how part 1 is how you got this way. How to embrace your inner BA is the next chapter. Another chapter is how to tap into the mother load. I don't know what that means. I forgot how crude this one is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, keep in mind it is a very vulgar book, but I think it's a way to sort of like give you a laugh. I'm gonna read you one of the chapters. It says, Chapter 11, your brain is your... I can't even say it! Oh my gosh! Your brain is your... witch. There you go. Oh my gosh. Part 4 says how to get over your BS already. Yeah, this book keeps it real, I guess. Oh my gosh. And then part 5 is how to kick some butt. I had to change it, but you could envision it. How to kick some butt. Money, your new best friend, is one of the chapters. Oh my gosh, I should reread that. I also have the Nami book, You're Not Alone. I haven't finished it yet. It's a big book, but it's a lot of stories and wisdom from like real life stories from people who are either loved ones or caretakers for people who live with mental illness or people who do live with mental illness in their stories. There's also a couple of stories from medical professionals in here as well. It's called You Are Not Alone, The Nami Guide to Navigating Mental Health. And again, I've only gotten the chance to read like the first bit of it, but I think out of the 4 parts, I've only gotten to read part of part 1. But again, being able to read so many people's amazing stories and wisdom is very valuable. Sounds like a very good mentor. She is! Oh my gosh. And like, you know, life takes you and people in your life in many different ways. But, you know, I like to think that she's doing well and that, you know, that she continues to spread that positivity and happiness. Yeah. And again, I where I can, I really aim to be a mentor in my own way. I like to give back in my own way as well. So, yeah. Oh, thank you for the link, Shiny! I actually got this as a Christmas gift. I had it on my wish list. I got it for Christmas. TND, thank you so much for celebrating your membership anniversary. Yeah, wishing everyone here peace of mind and happiness. And then the other book I got. This is it. This is the one that's most unrelated, I think. But I think books like this is a great way of... It's a lot of what I like to do whenever I talk about things that I'm really passionate about, like video games or anime, and then weave in really important topics to those, because it's a great way of making important topics a lot more digestible and a lot more accessible by connecting it to something that you can relate to and you find really interesting. So this last one I want to talk about is the psychology of Zelda. I also only have read the first couple of chapters of this as well. It is linking our world to the Legend of Zelda series, and again, it's a great way to sort of view these psychological topics through the lens of a game or franchise you're familiar with. So it's a great way to get your mind thinking. So here are some of the questions that they sort of talk about. How do Link's battles in Ocarina of Time against Dark Link, his monstrous doppelganger, mirror the difficulty of confronting our personal demons and our tendency to be our own worst enemies? Yeah. What lessons about pursuing life's greater meaning can we take away from Link's quests through Hyrule? What do we experience as players when we hear that familiar royal lullaby on the ocarina, Saria's spirited melody in the Lost Woods, or the iconic main theme on the title screen? How do the obstacles throughout Majora's Mask represent the 5 stages of grief? What can Link's journey to overcome the loss of the fairy Navi teach us about understanding our own feelings of loss and depression? But yeah, I think books like these are such an interesting way of exploring our feelings and how we think through things that we are familiar with and love to talk about. Yeah. But now that I've finished my book tangent, I'll start wrapping up by doing a little bit more sharing what I'm grateful for, ways that we can practice gratitude. This here's a really common one. Thank you note. If you, and it is handwritten is nice, but like if you have friends online, just sending them shooting them like a little message, like hey, like it doesn't have to be like a whole paragraph, right? It could just be like, hey, you know, thanks for being such a good friend. I hope you have a good holiday. You know, see you later. I don't know. It's something like that. Like, you know, hey, thanks for hanging out the other day. I had a lot of fun. Like, I really appreciate you, sort of stuff. Yeah. I also like to sometimes, like, have a little in my head, just go, like, thank you. Like, thank you. Like, maybe I I do this a lot whenever I eat something yummy. I go, I love food. Thank goodness I can enjoy food. I'm so thankful for food. So like sometimes I don't always say it out loud, but sometimes I like to say it in my head. I've tried to keep these before, but I'm just really bad at keeping journals. But gratitude journals, writing down, making it a habit to write down, like maybe at the end of every day, write one thing that you were grateful for that day. I think people also create gratitude journals that have more fun little game activity type stuff that you can do, like draw something that you were grateful for today. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to just be a sentence. It could be creative. You know, you could have a gratitude sketchbook. And maybe, like, once a week or at the end of every day, whatever you have time for, you can channel your gratitude into your art, right? Sing a song, something like that. Oh my gosh, if I had to sing a song that's my gratitude, that one song from Bleach, Kansha, appreciation, the Kansha lyrics. What if I ended? I don't think I know the full song, though. I don't know if I could sing it. It's a rap. That's why I don't think I can. Oh my gosh. It goes, arigato, itsumo arigato, da 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 da, kansha shiteru yo. Oh my gosh. It's called Appreciation. Yeah, it's nice. I'll read the lyrics out for you. Oh my gosh. It says, go listen to it. Go listen to Kansha right now. It's the lyrics in English are, to those who laugh, support, and encourage me. Every day's a carefree day. That's how I'm living. The things I must do and the things I can't do. There are so many of them, but I always do my best because of all your encouraging smiles. It's such an, I love, it's honestly one of my favorite ending songs. It's such an upbeat and happy song. If I had to say something, my answer would really be gratitude to my irreplaceable friends and family, overflowing with happiness together. I have the present and I've got everyone, so I can still smile on a bad day. I can't hold back my tears because I'm so thankful. I'm telling you guys, it's such a good song. Please, like, I would play it right now, but I don't want to get bogged. And then it repeats. Oh, let me listen to it and see if I can actually sing it for you. It's such a feel-good song. It really is. Bleach ending. I'm gonna cover it. We have to do the Bleach ending cover series now. Oh my gosh. Yeah! Oh my gosh. Where is it? No, this is hold on. Is it an opening or is it an ending? Hold on. Oh my gosh. So there's the ending and then there's another one. Hold on. I'm getting my Bleach ones mixed up. There's so many. Let's see. I'm thinking of a different one. It's Thank You. Sorry. There's one called Thank You and there's one called Kansha, but Kansha's by RSP, I think. And then Thank You is by Homemade Kazoku. So two songs that have the word thank you in it. Thank you. I know, I think I've sung the homemade Kazoku one. And the lyrics for this one are also really cute. It says, to all the people... Oh, I love these songs! To all the people who have supported me, this heartfelt rhapsody goes out to you. To send you my feelings of appreciation, thank you. I really thank you. Wherever you may be, I'm grateful for you. When the town was dyed red with twilight, I found myself casually strolling the streets. As evening comes, more people come and go, and I stopped for a moment. My cell phone went off, as though to fill this gap that opened up in my heart. You are not alone, for you see, we all will support one another. When I was feeling troubled and frightened of my unstable future, you were there, though you said nothing. You softly reached out your hand to me. My sadness diminished to one half. My happiness swelled twice over. If our places were reversed, I promise that I will come rushing to your side. See, like, there's so many beautiful ways to channel, like, your feelings into your art. And again, it doesn't have to be what you would consider, like, traditionally, like, positive feeling. Like, you can channel sadness into really productive and positive art. You can channel anger into really positive and productive art. And one of the ways that you can practice gratitude is to channel that into your music, into your craft. Yeah, sorry. Both of them are good. Both of them are really good. Both of them are both Bleach endings, but yeah. いつも支えてくれる人たちに日頃の思いは込めたラプソデーアプリシエーションの気持ちを届けいつもありがとう本当はありがとうたとえどこに立って君の存在に感謝してるよ I think I've actually covered this travel tunes, right? Hold on. I went on vacation once, and I put out a short little simple cover every day. Just nothing like super, like I mixed them. Like the videos, there wasn't like a super fancy video or anything, but I just wanted to be able to put something out there for people to enjoy. So I did this little series called Travel Tunes. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, here it is. I found it. With Hiragi Yu, yeah. Oh my gosh. So if you want to hear me sing it. Appreciation. Oh, thank you, Shadi. I beat you to it. I'm thankful for such a helpful and kind and awesome mod. Shiny. Boom, everyone put an 07 in chat right now. Oh, it shows I beat you on your stream. Oh my gosh. So, you win. On your screen, you win. I'll give you that one. Don't listen to YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio is only my reality. The reality is what you all see. Yeah, 07 for our wonderful mod. Oh my gosh. So thank you. I'm very grateful for all of your hard work. I'm very grateful for all the support you have. Not just for me, but for all of the Archangels as well. Thank you for always keeping all of us safe. Yeah. I'm thankful for all of my friends. Both like in real life, but also my friends that I have within the VTuber community. Whether it's fellow singers, fellow creators, you know. I'm really thankful for all of the kindness and not even just friendship, but also like the acquaintanceship. Like, you know, you don't have to be super close to everyone, but I'm really grateful for that, for the kindness that I've just been shown, like in a passing interaction or like in the small moments, right? I'm really grateful that I've been able to find a supportive community of not just fans, but also a supportive community of fellow creatives as well. Yay! I'm very glad that you're glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're glad that I'm glad that you're glad that you're here. And I'm glad that you're glad for being part of the community. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to even be here as a streamer. I talked about this on Twitter recently, but if it weren't for Captain taking a chance on me, I don't think I would have ever gotten the chance to start my journey with content creation. I found it hard to believe in myself. When I was in the audition process, I almost dropped out of the Prism Project auditions because I didn't feel like I was the right person for the job. Because I didn't know anything. I'd never streamed before. I'd never made content before on the internet, and I just felt like the worst candidate. But I'm grateful that Captain saw potential in me, and I'm grateful that he believed in me and put in a lot of energy and time into allowing me to grow and allowing me the space to learn. I'm grateful for all of the Prism Project folks across all of our time in Prism for their kindness and their support. I'm grateful for the time I had as an indie. I learned a lot. I really challenged myself. I'm glad that I still get to be me. I'm glad that I'm really grateful for this opportunity with Noah Talent. I'm excited for this new chapter. I'm excited to see where it takes me. There's already so many exciting things that I'm looking forward to. I'm grateful for everyone who took a chance on me. Because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for all of those people. I'm also grateful I stuck with it. I'm grateful for the younger me who believed in her, who maybe had trouble believing in herself, but was able to believe in those who believed in her, right? I'm grateful for the younger me who stuck to it and, powered through the more tough times. Yeah. Can't really know how to pick them, if anything. His hiring was phenomenal. I honestly, how did you see that potential in me? Like, that's a skill in and of itself, to be able to see the the potential in people. Because like I said, like it was so funny, like people being like, yes, you've streamed before, right? Like, no. No. I was like, I had to learn how to do OBS. I had to learn, oh my god, I had to learn how to like post regularly on social media. Oh my gosh, I'm still not very good at it, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the awesome food I'm gonna eat tomorrow. I'm grateful for the amazing sleep I'm gonna get tonight because I have a pretty big backlog of sleep debt that I need to catch up on. So I'm grateful for a nice cozy bed that I can sleep in. I'm grateful for my Shao plushie that I get to cuddle with so I can go to sleep. It's like a dream catcher. You know, I put my Shao plushie next to my head so that I will not have any nightmares. There are good people who admire you and you consider me one of them. Really? I'm very, I don't know, how do I, like I truly genuinely cannot express this enough. But like the fact that you all put so much stock into what I have to say, I can only hope that I offer back that respect that you all show me in hopefully being responsible in how I carry myself, how I talk about things. It really means a lot to me that your respect and your admiration, and I hope that, you know, I can honor that. Riku! I'm gonna cry! I'm gonna cry! Riku, my friend, I'm very grateful for you. I'm very grateful for you and all of the awesome music that we've gotten to make together. Oh my gosh. For the method to our madness. Oh my gosh. I'm grateful for Rita and Riku's contest winning HSR original fan song method. I'm grateful for every single time Shiny throws in. There you go, that's the word. I mixed both words up. I'm grateful for every time Shiny throws in a link and like a shill moment. Riku! Twy, I'm also thankful for you as well. Friendship! I'm thankful for friends. Is Shiny reading Rita's mind or something? Honestly, yeah. Oh my gosh, Shiny, you are my only mod, and you have been here for a while. So I feel like at some point, yeah. Have you picked up any of my Rita-isms at all? Is there anything that I say that you say now? There's something that you say that I say now, Shiny. Together they make a star. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Group hug! Yay! Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yay. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm just so thankful to have the archangels. To be able to call you all my community. I think you all are so wonderful. Yeah. When I'm happy, I laugh. Because like sometimes I'll just start giggling and my friend, well, to be frank, this is beef. So sometimes she'll be like, why are you so... She knows why. She loves me for it. But like, whenever I get happy, I giggle. This is always the most wholesome and supportive chat on the internet. I also cry when I'm happy. I need to start screaming when I'm happy. You know, really shake things up. Really widen the palette here. It's like Wolfric. Just start screaming when I'm happy. I feel like I scream when I'm excited. But like when I'm experiencing pure joy, do I just randomly start screaming? like when I think something's funny, I like scream laugh, if that makes sense. But I don't like, if I just feel like warmth, I don't go, ah! I'm thankful for beef keeping together. They make a start. I'll let her know. I'll be like, I hope you know my mod is grateful for you. In the most non-parasocial, platonic way. Oh my gosh. A yippee moment, yippee! Yeah, I also say yippee a lot. I'm very yippee coded. You get embarrassed when when you get joyful. Nah, you should embrace it. Embrace it. To be joyful is to be free. To express joy when you are joyful is right. Don't express joy when you're not joyful. That's not the truth. Gosh. But yeah, I have some more cleaning and prep for tomorrow because I got my Friendsgiving that I'm hosting. Oh, I also have a morning walk. I think me and Moss are gonna do a Macy's Thanksgiving Parade Day watch along. And then we're gonna go on a walk. Yeah. And then Friendsgiving prep. Woohoo! But yeah, I thought, I was like, I should think of a way, because like I tried, especially around the holidays, I try to think of ways to get my friends together and like celebrate our friendship and show my appreciation for it. So I was like, I just messaged Moss. I was like, hey, you want to go on a walk? And they were like, yeah, that sounds like a great time. So I'm gonna go out and appreciate nature. I'm very appreciative of nature. I'm appreciative of a nice cool morning, a nice breeze. I'm very appreciative of touching grass. Yeah, Friendsgiving. I also love celebrating Galentine's. I'm a huge Galentine's lady. If you don't know Galentine's, I think usually technically Galentine's Day is the day before Valentine's Day, but honestly Galentine's Day is whenever you can fit it in. Because that's the thing about Galentine's Day is that you have to work around everyone's schedules and like... But that's just how adult friendships are, you know what I mean? Trying to... Oh my gosh, you've never heard of Galentine's before? Oh my gosh. Galentine's is great, because Galentine's is for all of your friends. It's a Parks and Rec thing. For those who don't know, it's from Parks and Rec. Yeah, February 13th is Galentine's. We can celebrate anytime around Thanksgiving, around Valentine's. Yeah, it's a fun way to celebrate, you know, the love for your friends. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for the day. But I hope this has been a fun and thoughtful, insightful stream. I hope that you were able to think of things that you're grateful for. Or maybe it was just a nice little way to, you know, open up some avenues of conversation or of thinking. But yeah, I appreciate you all for... you know, joining me here today and for listening to what this random girl on the internet has to say. Oh my gosh. And I'll see you all next time. Bye! Take care! Anyone practicing their gratitude for secret endings? Oh, I'm grateful for like the little bits that we have, you know, like Bread Gang or like secret ending, the not so secret endings. Yeah. Anyway, I'm grateful for a good bit. We've gotta love a good bit and sticking to it. But yeah, take care of yourselves. Whether or not you celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And yeah, I'll see you after the holiday, the November holiday, Thanksgiving. I don't know if there's other Thanksgiving holidays out there, so whatever you're celebrating, Thanksgiving or otherwise, I'll see you all after, because I'm going to be eating a lot. Tomorrow I'm going to eat a lot, and then Friday I'm going to sleep off my entire Thanksgiving dinner. And then I'll see you all for To the Moon.